Hey guys, it's back with another video. Today we're just going to be talking about Fnaf, and you may have noticed that this time I'm not doing a reaction video. You probably already saw that in the title. Um, so the reason why I think Fnaf 1 Foxy is a good guy, like, is the most friendliest, is because when you don't check on him too much, when you don't check on him that much, he comes after you. If you check on him too much, he comes after you. But then he's the As far as I'm aware, he's the only animatronic in all the games that jump scare you, but not in your face, except for the shadow animatronics. Think about it. Every other animatronic that can kill you, Foxy's and the shadows are the only ones that actually don't go in your face. Who aren't in your face all the time. Yeah. Plus, um, he's basically forgotten in there. So he's like basically lonely since as far as far as people where he's not even like operational or supposed to be stage operational because it says literally on the thing, sorry, out of order. So they're not going to show him. So yeah, he's basically alone there. Plus, I've died multiple times to Foxy before because I played it before on someone else's, and Jesus, like Foxy is probably the scariest, but he's probably the friendliest because he's the only one that actually doesn't jump scare you. Because he just emerges through the doorway randomly, and he scared me one time before because when I was going through all the cameras and all that, he was peeking out. I'm like, "Don't you dare go out there!" And he was already at the bottom of the stage, his head back, his arm up, ready to run. And I'm like, "Don't you dare!" And I didn't want to keep my camera on him because I knew if I stared at him too much, he was gonna go. But I didn't want to take my eye off him at all. I didn't want to take my eye off him at all to begin with. Next thing you know, I go look over, and I hear Chica's moan. Like I hear, I hear a noise. I hear a noise, which I know was from either Bonnie or Chica, which I didn't know where Bonnie was at all. So I knew it had to be Chica because Bonnie was on stage because I just locked him out. And I turned on the light. Chica was there. I turned that off. I closed the door on her, and then I went back to Foxy because because I'm worried. I'm so worried about Foxy. Next thing you know, he's not even there anymore. Foxy's gone. I'm like, oh my god. I was stressed out, and I'm like, oh god. Before I could even pull my camera down, the instant I pulled I moved over to the camera where he is or he should be. I can see him. I can see him running down the hallway. I'm like, oh god. And I got out of it as quickly. I got out the camera. I got out the camera as quickly as possible and closed the door. But that wasn't fast enough. He was able to get me. And also, phone guy. That is a really weird topic for me because he's probably one of the more weirder people because phone guy should have died in the first game, yet he was there for the second one. Because on the fourth night, you hear him die because he said, check the spare suits, and check the spare suits and the parts and service." I wondered what were in those empty heads, and then you heard a jump scare, and the phone just hanged up, and people have already announced that thing and said that it's Golden Freddy because you could hear Foxy's banging on the door, so you know it ain't him or Bonnie because the left door is closed, and then you hear Chica's moaning, which that would indicate that Chica's at the door. But then you start to hear that music box that you hear when you run out of power, and Freddy's there, right? So that probably means it's Freddy. People think it's Freddy, right there. But that jump scare noise did not belong to Freddy. It belonged to Golden Freddy. And sorry if I'm frozen right now for you guys. Really sorry if I'm frozen. Um, when and then the phone picks up again on the fifth night, which when I was watching the full gameplay, that very much bothered me. So I'm like, who's calling? Because didn't the guy just die just the night before? And then you hear Golden Freddy's little noise, which I don't know. I don't really know how to say it, but he has like a noise. I don't know what it was. And then the phone hangs up after like at least 30 seconds of it doing it. Which, to be honest, is kind of creepy. But then the same phone guy that died on the fourth night, or believed to die, is the phone guy we have for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. That's weird. Yeah, that I find weird instantly because didn't he just die in the last game? Why would it be called Five Nights at Freddy's 2 if it was a prequel though? Like if Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was a prequel, then that means the toy animatronics were even before that, were made before them, and then where does the withered animatronics come from? Almost everybody believes that they've been scrapped to make the toys, that the originals were scrapped to make the toys, and then the originals were called the withered. That's the weird thing. So if it was a prequel, then the toys were scrapped entirely to make the originals. But then where did the withered come from beforehand? I mean, the only other possibility I could think of is Fredbear and Friends from Fnaf 4 because there's a Easter egg commercial during where Chris's brother scares you from behind the TV, the crying child's brother, which known as Mike now. Everyone believes his name is Michael. Um, yeah, there's something playing on the TV. Fredbear and Friends has Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, and then has the original four, which that's weird, to be honest. Yeah, that I find weird. That I personally find weird. So what if Fredbear and Friends came first, and then FNAF 2 came out, and then FNAF 1? I mean, it would make sense. Think about it. Because the bite, Fred, we believe Fredbear was Golden Freddy was scrapped. Fredbear was scrapped into withered golden. Like people believe that Fredbear is Golden Freddy. Which what if Fredbear became withered Golden Freddy, then fixed for who know what reason? Even though that animatronic never performed at all, it was basically a waste of money and time to fix it to make it into Golden Freddy. Like why would you repair a robot that's not even going to be on stage? Especially an exact design to the main character that is performing. Like, shouldn't you use the parts that you used to fix Golden Freddy for parts to fix Freddy? Like, why fix Golden Freddy then? That's one weird thing. Why fix Golden Freddy if you have more parts for Freddy? Why fix why fix why fix Withered Golden Freddy yet if you don't fix him you can have more parts for Freddy, Withered Freddy? Yeah. That I found weird instantly. That I find weird now. Like that wasn't even planned. Like most of me talking through this is not even planned at all. I mean, I've seen people's theories, which I gotta say, top notch. Like they have a bunch of evidence. I don't really hear. It's just me talking here. But um like what game theory, they thought that the game like all the games itself was a dream, which they had loads of evidence to support that. I mean, I believe it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it was true, to be honest with you. Because you see the toy animatronics in one of the FNAF minigames, FNAF 4 minigames, where you're walking like on the sidewalk and all that, and you meet this little girl who has three toys. One that looks like Chica, Toy Chica specifically, Toy Freddy, and Toy Bonnie. Yet Toy Chica was missing her beak, which if you've actually played FNAF 2 before or seen someone play it, her beak is always missing when she's not on stage. Which that I found weird. But then FNAF 3, I don't really know about that much. They also said that that all the first three games, all the games were all he was in the hospital from when the crying child was in the hospital after the bite. I mean, it would make sense because the first three games. I mean, no, the first three games, including Sister Location, were before FNAF 4 as a dream because you know that 6 a.m. chime you always hear every night after you finish, right? That chime? Well, it's from my grandfather clock. One of those big clocks that have one of those weird things just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's that same chime. Like, that's the confirmed time. And when you brighten up your screen and you look in your FNAF 4, right? And you look through the left hallway where Nightmare Bonnie is all the time, there's a like if you're able to see it enough, there's a grandfather clock and the back of it. Cause like there's the house here, there's the actual room and there's two hallways right on each side of it. This is the left hallway. This is my left. This is my right. On the left hallway at the very back, right before they both intersect and go to God knows where, there's a grandfather clock at the very edge of it, which that I found weird, very weird, to be honest with you. Like, and then for FNAF 4, the 6 a.m. chime is one of those digital alarm clocks, which you would usually have at a hospital. Which that was weird. That is weird too. Yeah, that I find very sus. Yeah. I don't think there's really much else for me to talk about today. Well, see you next time I make a video, I guess.